Hello students. So today we will be dealing with a new topic on compass surveying itself. But here the topic is irrelevant to your the previous classes. So compass surveying generally deals with the bearings of different lines. So in the starting of this particular module, you have seen what is meridian, you have seen what is bearing, and the different types of bearings you have seen. Then after that you have seen what different types of compass we have, then how the bearings are measured with the help of compass, what is whole circle bearing system, what is quadrantal bearing system. Then you have understood how the bearings are calculated when angles are given and vice versa. Then after that you have understood what is local attraction. Then problems on local attraction, you have seen what different types of problems will appear. So the types of compass also you have seen different prismatic compass and surveyor's compass and their difference. And the problems on local attractions are very important. So kindly have a stipulated time for solving problems your own. I told you that solve problems by referring some question papers. So please make sure that you solve at least 2 to 3 problems on local attraction so that you become perfect on that. And I ask you to give a stipulated time for solving the problems. I did not get any response from your end. I hope you will have a discussion on this, and let me give a time slot so that I can give you some kind of hint to solve the problems. Okay, so today what we will be dealing is we will be dealing with traversing. Let us see what is traversing and what exactly it has to do with civil engineering. Traversing is nothing but a series of connected lines, right? And whose bearings and lengths are given, or whose directions and lengths are given, and they are generally measured with the help of tape or chain, and chains are not being used nowadays. So the length of a line will be measured with the help of tape, and direction, nothing but bearing, will be measured with the help of compass. So what is traversing? Traversing is nothing but a series of connected lines, so one after the other. So when you have a line, then uh, to the end of that line you will join one more line, and to the end of that line you will join one more line. Then series of such lines will be called as traversing. So in your civil engineering you will come across so many series of connected lines, so you need to understand how they are related to each other. So when there is a change in direction from one point to, from one line to another line, then traversing happens, right? So let us see what exactly the types of surveying traversing we have. So you have two types: open traverse and closed traverse. You can see the diagram there below. Open traverse has got you know starting point and end point different. So if you just look at the diagram, line AB, BC, CD, DE, right? So A is the starting point of the traverse, E is the end point of the traverse. So if you just look at them, so they are different. A and E are two different points. So when traverse begin at some point and end at some other point, then it is called as open traverse. Whereas in closed traverse, the traverse is being starting with the point and it ends at the same point. Like in the given diagram, the right hand side, if you can see, line AB, BC, CD, DE and EF, and even FA, right? So it ends at A. So a series of connected lines where starting point and end point are the same point is called as a closed traverse, right? So it is quite easy to understand what is open traverse and what is closed traverse. In civil engineering you may come across both the traverse, open traverse as well as closed traverse, right? So after this, you need to understand very important topic on traversing. So let us move ahead with that. Latitude and departure. These are the two important terms which are very much important in case of compass surveying. So latitude of a line and departure of a line, right? So these are the terms associated with a line and a traverse. So whenever you have a line, right, of certain length lying on the ground, so definitely that line will have certain direction. So line may be exactly over the north, or it may be at some other direction. So if it is on the north, then there is a chance that you say bearing is 0 degree. So bearing is 0 degree in the sense the line is along north direction. Now assume that there is a line lying on the ground, right? So line AB, right? And line AB has got some bearing. So that is being shown as theta in our diagram. You can see in the diagram there is a line AB and length of that line AB is L, and theta is the bearing of that line. Bearing means what? Angle made by that line with the north direction, isn't it? So angle between the line and the north direction is bearing. You have come across this bearing so many times in previous classes, so I hope you will be able to understand what I am trying to tell you, right? So there is a line AB and there is theta bearing and there is length of the line L shown in the diagram. Now let us see what is the latitude of the line AB and let us see what is the departure of the line AB. So in the diagram you can see there is a yellow color line being shown on the north side and it is written as latitude AB, right? Isn't it? So what is this latitude means? Latitude of a line is nothing but its coordinate length measured parallel to an assumed meridian. Here assumed meridian is nothing but north direction itself, right? Magnetic meridian itself is the assumed meridian here, right? Or you can even define latitude as it is the projection. It is the projection of the line AB on the magnitude on the magnetic meridian, or simply assumed meridian. So here, since we are dealing only with the magnetic meridian, so all the meridians will be magnetic meridians for us, isn't it? So the projection of line AB on the magnetic meridian is called as latitude of the line. I hope you are able to understand the meaning of the word projection. Projection is nothing but you can say in Kannada neradu, isn't it? So you have heard this word projection even in your previous classes, like even in PUC you come across the word projection. So the projection of the line AB on magnetic meridian is called as latitude of the line, or simply you can say that it is its coordinate, I mean the latitude of a line is its coordinate length measured parallel to assumed meridian, right? So departure is same thing, that is departure of a line is its coordinate length measured perpendicular to an assumed meridian. Meridian will be north-south direction. Perpendicular to north-south direction will be east-west direction. So that is why you have in the diagram, if you observe, there is a line, yellow color line, which is written as departure on east-west line, isn't it? So departure of a line is its coordinate length measured perpendicular to an assumed meridian direction, or you can even define it as the projection of a line on a perpendicular to an assumed meridian. So it is the projection of the line AB on a line perpendicular to the assumed meridian, isn't it? Right? So this is how you are supposed to understand, right? So to make you understand latitude and departure in a better way, let me give you a perfect example so that you are familiar with this. So if you have studied elements of civil engineering in your first year, that is civil. So if you remember, there were forces being resolved. Resolution of forces you have studied, right? If there is a force F acting at some direction, then you can split that force. You can resolve it into X component and Y component, isn't it? So F cos theta, F sin theta. So you remember that? So it is the same thing here. Latitude is nothing but a vertical component, that is Y component of the force, right? Whereas departure is nothing but the X component of the force, right? So F is nothing but L here. F is nothing but L, because there it was magnitude of the force, and here magnitude means length of the line. So it is one and the same. Latitude is Y component, departure is X component of the force, right? So here latitude is nothing but the X component, Y component of the line, and departure is nothing but X component of the line. But you cannot define it that way. So that is why the definitions are given here, as the latitude is its coordinate length measured parallel to an assumed meridian, and departure of a line is its coordinate length measured perpendicular to an assumed meridian. So you can calculate them. It's very similar to what you have been calculating in force resolution, F cos theta, F sin theta. So latitude, at the bottom of the diagram you can see that latitude is L cos theta. Latitude is L cos theta and departure is L sin theta. Isn't it? Look at that diagram. You can easily say that there is a triangle and there is theta in the triangle. So hypotenuse is L, isn't it? Hypotenuse in the triangle is L. AB itself is hypotenuse, and in the triangle there is a theta which is bearing of the line, right? So opposite side of the theta is nothing but the departure, right? So sin theta is equal to departure divided by hypotenuse, which is L. So it is going to be departure equal to L sin theta, isn't it? And similarly latitude can be written as L cos theta, because it is the adjacent side of the theta. Adjacent side of the theta is latitude and it can be calculated as L cos theta, and departure is L sin theta. So I hope you are able to make use of this, right? So now when you are going to calculate latitude and departure, it is very similar to force calculation, resolution of force. Whatever you have seen, it is very similar to resolution of forces. F cos theta, F sin theta, and here it becomes L cos theta, L sin theta. Latitude is L cos theta, departure is L sin theta. But here theta is bearing of the line. Remember this. Theta is the bearing of the line. So let us see some examples so that you understand latitude and departure in a better way. So let us see what is the nomenclature. If you want to solve the problem, you need to understand there is a nomenclature. So latitude can be plus or minus, and even departure can be plus or minus. So when it will be plus and when it will be minus, you should understand, right? So latitude will be positive when measured in northward, upward direction. If the line is in the first and second quadrant, then the latitude will be upward, that is northward. So it is termed as northing. Latitude is called as northing, right? So latitude is going to be positive when it is measured in northward direction or upward direction, it is called as northing. And latitude will be negative when it is measured in southward direction, that is downward direction, and it is called as southing. So if the line is lying in the third and fourth quadrant, then latitude will be negative. So similarly departure. So departure is going to be positive if it is measured in eastward direction. So that is in the first and fourth quadrant you will find that the departure is positive, and departure is negative when it is measured in westward direction. So that is on the left side of the north-south line. So it is called as westing. I hope you are able to understand. Northing, southing are for latitude, easting, westing are for departure. So northing is positive, southing is negative, easting is positive, westing is negative, right? So based on this you can see the diagram. So in the diagram, if the line is in the first quadrant, then both latitude and departure will be positive, and if the line is in the second quadrant, then latitude will be positive and departure will be negative, and if the line is in the third quadrant, then both latitude and departure will be negative. Similarly, and if the line is in the fourth quadrant, then latitude will be negative, departure will be positive. So remember, latitude will be along north-south direction and departure will be on east-west direction. So along the x-axis there will be departure, and along the y-axis there will be latitude, right? So I hope you are able to understand what is latitude and what is departure, right? So these plus minus signs are very much similar to what you have seen in case of forces. Forces also have got positive and negative. So x component of the force, y component of the force. So x and y component will be positive in first quadrant. So in a very similar manner you can even take the latitude and departure of the line, right? So always remember that the latitude and departure will have certain sign, plus minus sign, and once you have the formula known, that is L cos theta and L sin theta, so automatically the minus plus sign will appear on the your solution. So you yourself need not to put plus or minus, so automatically the plus minus sign will appear. So as you calculate the latitude and departure by substituting in the formula L cos theta, L sin theta, right? I hope you are able to understand what is latitude and what is departure. Now let us see the problem now. So let us see how we are going to calculate the latitude and departure of the line. So there is a problem given. What is that problem? Calculate latitude and departure of a line of length 15 meter whose bearing is 40 degree. So what he says, there is a line AB and length of that line AB is 15 meter and bearing of the line is given 40 degree. So bearing means what? Angle made by the line with north direction, right? So same thing is being drawn over the diagram. So in the diagram you can see that there is a line AB, right? Length of the line is written 15 meter there and angle is 40 degree, that is bearing, right? So solution is what? You are supposed to find out the bearing of, latitude and departure. There is a formula, you know, L cos theta, L sin theta. So if you just look at the line, it is in the first quadrant. I hope you are able to understand why it is in the first quadrant. How will you come to know that it is in the first quadrant? By knowing the bearing of the line. So bearing is 40 degree. So something between 0 to 90 degree will always be in the first quadrant. 90 to 180 degree, it falls into second quadrant. 180 to 270 degree, it falls into third quadrant. And finally, if the bearing is 270 to 360 degree, it is going to be in the second quadrant, right? So 90 to 180 will be in the fourth quadrant, right? So I hope you are able to understand what I mean. So here I have written plus L cos theta plus L sin theta. So you can see that there is a given thing written there, length 15 meter and bearing theta is 40 degree. So formula for latitude is L cos theta, and L is nothing but length of the line. Length of the line is given 15 meter, and theta is nothing but bearing of the line, which is given 40 degree. Now L cos theta is nothing but 15 cos 40. So that comes out to be 11.4949 meter. So plus is written because latitude is positive, because the line is lying in the first quadrant, and in the first quadrant latitude is positive. So departure will be having a formula L sin theta. So here also L is 15 meter and theta is 40. So when you substitute, you get departure as 9.64 meter. So here also the departure is positive because the line is in the first quadrant, and in the first quadrant departure will also be positive. So this is the way how you calculate latitude and departure of a line, right? So if length of the line is given different and bearing is given a different value, then you should be able to understand how the latitude and departure of a line is calculated. So let us see one more problem. And in this problem, if you just look at, so the problem is to calculate latitude and departure of line AB of length 20 meter, whose bearing is 230 degree. So when you say 230, so definitely it should be in the third quadrant. So in the third quadrant, 230 degree makes. So given the length of the line as 20 meter and bearing of the line is given to 30 degree. So latitude has got formula L cos theta. L is 20, theta is 230 degree. So 20 cos 230, that comes out to be minus 12.855 meter. So here you need not worry about plus minus sign. Automatically when you substitute the bearing of the line correctly, you will get plus or minus based on the value of theta. So L, that is latitude of the line, is 12.855 meter, and departure of the line is L sin theta, that is 20 sin 230. So 20 sin 230, which is nothing to be minus 15.32 meter. So the departure of the line is being calculated, and it is 15.32 meter with a negative sign. So the line has got its position in the third quadrant, and in third quadrant both latitude and departure will have negative sign. So that is the reason why you have latitude as minus 12.855 and departure as minus 15.32 meter. So this is how the latitude and departure are being calculated, right? So this is the way how the problem is to be solved when you are supposed to be calculating the latitude and departure. So this is not the only problem how you get in your examination. So you will get problem on closed traverse, and when you want to solve the problems on closed traverse, you are supposed to know how to calculate latitude and departure of the line. So that is the reason why we have taken up this. So here you have something called closing error, right? So closing error is nothing but let me explain you in detail what exactly is the closing error and how the closing error is going to be solved. And why I wanted to tell you this is because the problem which involves the calculation of latitude and departure requires you to have the knowledge of closing error. So what is closing error? Then you will be able to understand uh, how to rectify. Okay, so that is what you are going to understand in your next class. So next class will be on closing error and how to remove the closing error, or how to adjust the closing error. Okay, thank you very much.